So once more, good morning from me. I'm Kulderas from the Estonian Ministry of Economic Affairs and Communication, and I'm really happy to bring to you the second webinar of the Estonian Data Wisdom Network. So whether you are listening to us online and in real time right now, or visiting our recordings afterwards, it's really nice to have you here. And as the network is really new, we have just recently announced it and now running only our second webinar. Then here is also some slides and some information about what we are and what we intend to do. And the main thing here to notice is that the main communication channel for our network is our LinkedIn group. So feel free to get to LinkedIn, look for Andmetarkuse võrgustik, and join the group and contribute to us. But getting closer to today's event. So we kicked off last week with the first webinar on data economy and why the kind of overall discussion on why data is needed. And today we are really happy to welcome our northern neighbors from Finland and kick off a kind of side stream of webinars, which is intended to bring more information about what do similar networks in other countries do. So what are the reasons why are being data experts and in general people interested in data brought together into a community? What are the benefits being offered to the members of such communities? And in general, for our really new network in Estonia, to get some experiences to be able to learn about that. So the topic of today's webinar is advancing data management in Finland. And for that purpose, we have two excellent people from the Finnish DAMA network, DAMA Finland, a data management network here with us. So I'm really happy to welcome Minna, Oksanen, the president of DAMA Finland, and Juha-Pekka Joutsenlahti, the vice president, who will now, over the next 20 minutes or so, share their experiences. If you get any questions, then I hope you can notice the questions and answers box in your webinar screen. So really feel free to put any questions there. And after the presentation, we'll then take care of asking all of these questions from the presenters. But with that, that's all from me. And Minna and Juha-Pekka, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. First of all, maybe I try to share my screen, because that's most quickest way to go through this. So here, can you see now my slides in this?
Yes.
Yes, that's great. Sorry about my camera just stopped 5 minutes ago to working, but maybe we'll manage this way. And thank you very much for asking us to and invite us to talk about what is DAMA. And DAMA Finland is an organization which is based on DAMA International. But I will tell you more about this, and then Juha-Pekka will tell why he has been interested in this and joined to the DAMA Finland. So first of myself, this wheel here is the basics of DAMA framework. It's called DAMA wheel. That's in DAMA International framework, which we are running. And I have put sometimes my own introduction, which parts of data management I have done during my career. And most of the time I have been in data architecture, data modeling, and then 10 years or more with data warehousing, business intelligence. So quite wide about this area. What is DAMA Finland? It's as you are in the Estonian leading group, and we are leading association for data management professionals in Finland. That word data management professional is quite interesting. So we hope that it's not keeping people out of our network, but I would say that data is everywhere, and whoever makes data or uses data is a professional for data. So it's always important also to manage this data. So we are hoping that more people understand that we are working with data and they need with data management ways of working. So our mission is to advance this data management area. We belong to DAMA International, and also we belong to Finnish DAMA. If you have heard about DAMA, that's Finnish Information Processing Association. So in Finland there are more than 28 associations. Some of them are local, like we have one in Helsinki area, one in Oulu and so on. And then we have these nationwide associations, if you have heard Sytyke, Tietoturva or something like that. We are associations where everyone in Finland can join. It's not necessarily keeping people from Oulu are not allowed to join us. No. We want them to join us because we hope we will have also our events around Finland, but mostly we are working in Helsinki and of course distant. So we are having these webinars. But then the other side of our organization is that we are part of DAMA International, and actually that's way how we met with Kuldar, because we were in Bologna EMEA area conference together. There was something like 140 people around there in live meeting, and about 1,000 people from EMEA area. EMEA area, as it says, belongs also some parts of Asia and Africa. So it was great to talk people from Tanzania and Morocco and so on. And we noticed that same problems everywhere. That was not nice, but that's very understandable. We are talking the same thing, data. But DAMA International is based on USA, and every chapter belongs there. We have some affiliation, what we can do with DAMA International materials, but also most commonly we are working locally in Finland. But it's great to know that we have this member organization where we belong, so we will get much support from them. And why we want to be a DAMA? We could also be a Data Wisdom Finland. I love your idea of this DAKV, that coming from data, bringing to wisdom. I love it a lot. So, but our way is that we want to keep these DAMA practices. The most important is this Data Management Book of Knowledge, DM book. Have you ever seen that blue book with something like 600 pages? And then, because that's a big book, there is also a certification. And what DAMA has done is almost every year, hopefully this year also, we will get the training for this CDMP. But also, because there was that wheel, which has different slices. In with DM book, each slice has own part. And also there is a different certification for each part has own certification. But that's one point, because we don't have trainings for every weekly, but most commonly we are working with network events. So we are, like you have webinars and have live meetings, and people are telling what's coming on in their organization, and sometimes we have some common workshops and so on. So what we do is, I said, we are opening up this book and keep it more understandable, saying that, hey, we have done this kind of job and this kind of job. And in that sense, we are improving data management capabilities. I'm not sure about the word data management is that all, because there is also, of course, how information is used and what is a knowledge-based understanding. But most commonly, it's more like data management, master data management, metadata management, data quality, data products, and so on. That's some parts of our events, what has been. And then one thing is that we have started translating terminology from the DAMA basic terminology to Finnish, and that's very interesting job, because in Finland we have word tieto, maybe you know that, but tieto means in English always data, information, and even knowledge can be translated to tieto. So if we talk about tieto, it means so different things when we talk about data or we talk about knowledge. but at least we try to keep more understandable this world. That picture here is a new version of DAMA wheel. I like it better because it tells the whole story, and it starts from data governance, data cultures around this data management practices. But you will get these slides so you can go through this more. So what we have now done in DAMA Finland, I hope someone has heard earlier that we have this kind of association, because we already built it in 2004, so it's 20 years anniversary year this time. So 2004 there was active people, and there was it was Nokia time, because in Nokia they asked those data gurus to build their data management practices. So Peter Aiken, Len Silverstone from USA came quite often to Nokia, and they were also members, and actually Peter is now a president of DAMA International. So they were in Finland, and they were talking in Nokia people that it would be great to collect all these data people around. And then we started to build it, and there was some webinar. We were in that phase like you are now. So we were something like 70 people was coming to our events and talking, and some people was there and saying that it's great, now I'm not alone in my company anymore, now we have a community. But in that time we didn't build that proper association, because in Tivia, as I earlier said, we are now part of a Tivia. There was this Sytykä ry, which was more like a project managing data practices. It was more like this always information management building group. And we decided that we are a special thematic group under Sytykä. Well, it works well few years, but then because it was not the association, it somehow going down. And in 2011, some people built a real association. And first it went well again with first 4 years. But then if there are no changes during your process when you are building association, it always goes down. No one is interested anymore building up, and we don't have any new persons in. But then 2020, a little bit earlier, we started to talk about that should DAMA be part of Tivia again. But now DAMA is part of Tivia as their own organization, so we are now association there. And that helps us. If we are making some event, we can use Tivia network to spread the message, and we will get some other people much easier to working with us, and it helps us, because I love networking, and much more networking, it's always great. And also we have this CDO IQ program, which is along with MIT, because Peter is there from there, and DAMA International. And LinkedIn is very active. More than 600 people is on our page there. And our members, we have around 100 people there as members, and 4 companies. Actually, I would say that Solita could be one of them, but it's not yet at least. But Solita has been great support for us. We have been able to done our events in Solita spaces. That's very good. Well, hopefully you have some questions, and we can ask them later about our story. But let's go through what we do. So this is a plans what we have done so far this year and what's coming forthcoming. Actually, this webinar is still on forthcoming, but now it's true. Yes, we have joint topics with Tivia. One was with AI. It was an evening we were talking about different aspects of what AI development should be. Then was data product. JP was talking there, and it was a panel as well. And then people in Oulu, as I said, that there are also data people in Oulu, in Northern Finland. So we were having a session with them that what is DAMA, and should they have a DAMA chapter there, or should they just keep like you are having an internet with LinkedIn or something like more, not so organized group. And then we have, this year was European Parliament election last weekend, so Tivia was holding this panel for some member candidates, and so that very well also, and it was with CDO IQ, so it's with CDOs how they should be working, and DAMA was there as well. And this chaos is part of this Sytykä, as I said earlier, and we have this regulation event. So we were talking about GDPR and also this Big Five. And actually, I must say that EP has made a very great presentation also for this EU's Big Five new legislations. So if you need some presentations, there are lots of great which we can hold for you. And in August we have, let's start in other side, that DAMA Ukraine has built more than 1 month ago, and we are having a webinar with them, and hopefully you might join this as well. The Finnish people are promised to give some support for Ukraine situation during this webinar, and it's based on master data management, what we are talking there. And then we have again collaboration with Sytykä, because Sytykä has a conference, and it's now in Helsinki. Sometimes it's in a cruise to Stockholm and back. And in 19th of October, our association, actually DAMA Finland, it was not first association, but we still say that we have been now in 20 years in Finland, and we have no ideas yet how we are spending this year, but we'll see. And then I will talk about few words about this translation working group. We will publish the results during the autumn. Now it started last year this time, and it has been interesting path how it will, and people who has been involved in this translation work. Yeah, it was here. Translation work that said that we have learned a lot during this process. Not only that we have now a proper language, but also how this language has been built, because these terms are not so easy to translate. So data governance doesn't mean same for everyone, or data management. Is data governance with soft skills, and data management is hard skills, and so on. So it has been very lively and interesting conversation. And it has even 9 different organizations, and we are able to get this into public also with governmental people has been there, so it will be a public administration and corporate side both. And as always, this kind of job, early this year, it was almost ready, but it has been the second round during the springtime. Okay, and we have a webinar, a website. It's under Tivia's side, and then we have 2 LinkedIn groups. One is with group side and one is with association side. So some of these posts are also in English, but quite much is still in Finnish. But we are more and more getting in English way, because in Tivia there are not so many associations which are working in English, but we have lots of people who works with data area who are only English speaking. So we hope that DAMA Finland has at least some of our events always is also in English. And you are free to follow us and join to the group. And then, yes, that was our page. And so, why to join DAMA Finland? EP, can you tell some story about you? Why you choose to join DAMA?
Yeah, I see that there is like 2 big reasons for that, and the first one is of course this like community side that goes like in depth. So having DAMA as part of this like international community and having this like existing framework, it really creates like a good foundation for the discussion and having to share thoughts with some of the like-minded people, either like within Finland through this DAMA Finland, or within then people around the world through this DAMA International, and that really creates a great foundation. But then there is also this the other dimension that goes maybe more in breadth, and as any framework, also this DAMA DMBOK is more of a thinking tool that what should be considered in the area of data management. And then we also want to make it really actionable. And then the other dimension is that we do collaborate a lot with other practices. So as Minna mentioned, there is, for example, this enterprise architecture working community, the CHAOS, in Finland, which we do collaborate a lot. There's the ICT Leaders Finland, who we do a collaboration with. So we also get really good communication and collaboration across these different practices, so that we can expand this the data management side as well. So the the DAMA itself provides a good foundation for this data management area, and then being part of this a broader community of Tivia then provides a good backbone for going beyond this data management and considering also the other aspects. So I think that's one of the core reasons. And of course, within, for example, within Finland, there is a really great minds part of the DAMA, and there's, I would say, always a very good discussions when there is some events. There is really good conversations, great presentations. So at least for me, those are really insightful, and pretty much every time you learn something a bit more, participating in such events. But I think that's in short why I'm part of the DAMA. So going deeper into gathering knowledge in the data management, as well as then seeing what's beyond data management.
Thank you very much. And as you see, our future plans is hopefully we will do lots of collaboration together. It would be great. So this is just one page that we are under Tivia, and our membership is run by Tivia, but we have both person members and also society members. And around 100 people now. Last year, this time it was 75, so quite luckily people understand now how important this is to do this data work together and get more understanding of it. So any questions? I think you will check that questions now. So thank you very much, and keep in touch. We both have this DAMA Finland address, so it's Juha-Pekka at DAMA Finland Fi and Minna at DAMA Finland Fi. That's one of my Gmail addresses. So thanks for joining us today, and let's make a good collaboration together.
Thank you. That's really great, and I must say that from our point of view, this 20 years of experience is something that we look at with a little bit of envy. But as there are no questions yet, but I would just like to use the opportunity myself and ask about the one of the big questions that we have been having in setting up while we have been setting up our network. So on the one side, so there is this all of the data experts that you want to bring together, that would have a place to talk to others that are like-minded, that have their own experiences they can share. So it's really this expert network. On the other side, what we have been considering really very much in Estonia, and also when you read these international best practices, everybody is saying that data starts at business, at leaders level, at the business leaders. They need to have some awareness of the importance of data, the value of data, and that's also a crucial aspect to be covered. So is that something that you have also been thinking about in DAMA Finland? Is that something that you handle, that you organize events for? in any way?
Yes. Correct me if you have more to add here, but I would say that for this managemental or leadership area is that CDO network with CDO IQ events based on that. But it's not running very smoothly yet, but with events at least we have. So we are collecting people who are real CDOs together, because that's important to get this. Like we said, that we have this CEO level group under TDIA. They have good community there, but these heads of data and CDOs, maybe they are too full of work, but we should have a more collaboration between them, and that this CDO IQ is one part of to make this collaboration.
I must say it makes a lot of sense to also kind of form collaborations between similar networks. So as you have done with TDIA, and also then potentially share the workload in getting to the attention of business leaders and decision makers in that sense. But yeah, it's really great work that you have been doing in Finland.
Yeah, and maybe maybe to add on top of that, so also something that we have noticed is that this like the DAMA framework is something that it's like easily approachable, and especially those organizations that are not necessarily as mature in their data journey. That's like a great way of communicating also on the higher level. So it's like a kind of easy to understand what there should be in the data management area, and that acts like as a communication tool as well to the leadership level. And then as Minna said, we work with the CDO IQ and then this ICT Leaders Finland community, just to like bring these like data management aspects to also on the leadership level, and kind of like trying to make it more practical. So definitely something to like consider is to have this collaboration across these different practices.
That makes indeed a lot of sense. But yeah, with that, really many thanks for joining us and kind of in the end of say helping us to get onto the way with the Estonian Data Wisdom Network. Before we depart for today, I would also like to make two short announcements. So the first is that keep tuned for our last spring webinar, which is going to be happening already next week on the 21st of June, where our own government CDO Joutsenlahti is talking about the government's role and the government's ideas in developing data economy and supporting data economy in Estonia. So, and for this webinar, we will again switch back to Estonian. And we are also well on the way to look into our autumn program in terms of webinars events. So certainly everybody who is interested, join our LinkedIn group and keep tuned there. And if you haven't done it yet, then also we really encourage you to try and again get onto LinkedIn and find the manifesto of our network there, or then scan quickly the QR code here. So it's really, the manifesto is the document where we have written down what we are as a network, what we expect to do, what are our principles, and if you support these principles, if you support these ideas, if you want to participate and support the whole network, the Data Wisdom Network, then feel free to add your name to the manifesto as well. But with that, it's really also all from my side. Once more, thanks to Minna and Juha-Pekka, and to everybody else. Keep tuned for the next webinars and join us next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.